Caitlin Clark, the Indiana Fever, giving the Chicago Sky a beat down.
Caitlin Clark continues to set ratings records.
How many people tuned in to watch this?
Just minutes ago, Caitlin Clark made history again.
2.7 million people on average watched the Fever absolutely obliterate the Chicago Sky.
Caitlin Clark opens second season with a milestone audience against Angel Reese, the most viewed WNBA regular season game in 25 years.
In a blowout win over Angel Reese in the Chicago Sky, she didn't just dominate the court, she crushed viewership records and left the entire league speechless.
Caitlin Clark and the Fever drew 2.7 million viewers versus the Sky. Angel Reese is punching air.
If you're standing with Caitlin Clark, drop 100% for Caitlin in the comments to show your support.
Caitlin Clark still has the same support she had last year. She is simply on fire right now.
Caitlin Clark, generational talent. She's the one. They put the team around her right now.
She is the one. This is the golden goose. This is the one.
Caitlin Clark is a likable and lovable superstar. She pays homage.
Caitlin Clark knows what's coming. Caitlin Clark rises up and is the star.
Caitlin Clark just redefined what it means to be a ratings magnet in professional sports. In the Indiana Fever's season opening game against the Chicago Sky,
Caitlin Clark has made history with this year's home opener. It's being reported that Caitlin Clark Indiana Fever game against the Chicago Sky this past weekend was the most watched WNBA opening weekend ever on ESPN platform. The Chicago Sky versus Indiana was up 115%.
The Indiana Fever are back in action.
Clark not only dominated with a dazzling triple-double, but she also delivered the kind of television numbers that left the entire sports world stunned. The game pulled in a staggering 2.7 million average viewers.
The season opener between Clark-led Indiana Fever and Chicago Sky drew 2.7 million viewers Saturday on ABC, the most watched game on ESPN platforms, regular or playoffs, the network announced. The game peaked at 3.1 million viewers. The record ratings come despite the Fever blowing out the Sky by 35.
Peaking at 3.1 million, making it the most watched WNBA regular season game in over 25 years. That's right, more people watched Caitlin Clark play in a 35-point blowout than tuned in for most NBA games, including several marquee matchups. The Fever versus Sky game didn't need a close finish to be compelling.
Indiana Fever beat down the Chicago Sky over and over and over again.
Viewers came in droves just to watch Clark. Her presence alone turned a routine early season game into a full-blown national spectacle. But it doesn't stop there. Clark's performance outdrew every Major League Baseball game so far this season, even a hyped Mets versus Yankees clash. It even beat ESPN's own NBA doubleheaders from opening week.
ESPN just saw all of their records broken involving the WNBA, including playoff games. It is a big number, all right? This will defeat the great majority of most NBA games.
Where games like Bucks versus Sixers and Spurs versus Mavericks barely crossed the 1.6 million viewer mark. While other sports are seeing ratings decline, Clark is pulling in millions more than entire league opening nights. For further context, her pro debut last year drew 2.1 million viewers.
Last year, game number 1, 1.53 million, 2.1 average. Second game, 2.2 average. Third game, 2.3 average with a 3.3 million peak. The peak viewership was more than this year's. That's interesting. Last year, 1.6 million viewers, the Ion's most viewed WNBA telecast. Caitlin Clark continues to be box office.
And now she's eclipsed that in her second year, with even more momentum behind her. Even more remarkable is the timing and competition. The game aired on a Saturday afternoon during PGA tournaments, Indianapolis 500 practice, and weekend barbecues. And still, millions chose to watch Caitlin Clark. It speaks volumes about her drawing power. Whether fans love her for her game, her leadership, or her presence as a cultural icon, one thing is clear: she is appointment television. And the critics? They said she wouldn't pull the same numbers in year 2. They claimed the hype would fade. But Caitlyn silenced all of that with a triple-double and a headline-grabbing TV rating that put everyone else, Angel Reese included, on notice. She's not just the most talked-about name in women's basketball. She's the most watched, and she's doing it in a way that no one in WNBA history ever has.
Clark's third career game, viewership increased more than 50%.
Caitlyn Clark isn't chasing records anymore. She's setting them, and everyone else is struggling to keep up. For months, the media and WNBA fans have hyped up the so-called rivalry between Caitlyn Clark and Angel Reese. Ever since their heated NCAA title game and emotional showdowns on the court, the storyline has stuck. Two rising stars, two opposing personalities, locked in a battle for basketball dominance.
WNBA started, and all the talk is about Caitlyn Clark and Angel Reese.
Angel Reese lost her mind after a smart foul.
WNBA has this exciting rivalry, and we've talked about Caitlyn Clark and Angel Reese for so long.
But as the numbers pour in and the games play out, it's becoming crystal clear. This isn't a rivalry. It's a one-sided storm led by Caitlyn Clark, and Angel Reese is struggling just to stay in the same conversation. Let's talk cold, hard facts. While Clark's opening game against the Sky pulled in 2.7 million viewers,
the most watched WNBA game ever on ESPN, regular season or postseason. It is an objectively good thing that this is the most viewed game. It's an objectively good thing that people watch it. And it's an objectively good thing that people watched Caitlyn Clark absolutely dominate.
peaking at 3.1 million, Reese's recent outing in the unrivaled series flopped with a humiliating 84,000 viewers. That's not just a small difference. It's a total collapse of the narrative that the two are equals in the eyes of the public. While Clark is breaking historic barriers and setting new records, Reese is dealing with a shrinking fan base and viewership stats that barely register. And yet, in true social media fashion, Angel's supporters have tried to twist the story, acting as if she won something simply because she shared a court with Clark. But the truth is painfully obvious. The world tuned in to see Caitlyn, not Angel.
When last year, it was the rookies. It was Caitlyn, it was Angel Reese. This year, we're back at it, right? Yeah. I would have thought they were trying to promo a fight. And I think Angel just got up in frustration. Angel, you got to take that one, baby. Like, it wasn't even necessary. I think it was a little bit too dramatic. I believe Caitlyn handled it like a pro.
To make matters worse for Reese, the game didn't just showcase the gap in attention, it highlighted the gap in composure. In the third quarter, tensions boiled over. Caitlyn Clark, after being shoved by Reese's teammate, Natasha Howard, responded by pushing Reese and was handed a flagrant foul.
The Angel Reese fans, the old guard, the lowest common denominator that resides in the WNBA, the nose picker, the people that scratch their butt and don't watch their hands, those people saw that Caitlyn Clark hard foul on Angel Reese, and they saw it as an opportunity.
That moment was all over the headlines. But instead of making Clark look like the villain, it became another reason fans couldn't stop talking about her. Drama aside, she kept her cool, finished with a triple-double, and turned a heated moment into another spotlight-stealing headline. Meanwhile, Reese appeared rattled, walking up and down the court in frustration, trying to catch her breath, completely thrown off her game. The body language told the story. Clark was in control, Reese was overwhelmed.
It is a mad situation just all around when it comes to Caitlyn Clark.
Caitlyn Clark effect seems to be crazier than year one.
And while Reese's fans screamed about fouls, favoritism, and media bias, Caitlyn just kept doing what she does best, playing elite basketball and drawing the world's attention. That's the real story here. Not who talks the most trash or reposts the most memes, but who makes people stop what they're doing to watch. Right now, that's not Angel Reese. It's Caitlyn Clark, again and again.
It is a balance, but she's a generational talent. No league's ever about one player, but in this case, Caitlyn brought tens of millions of new viewers into the W, and there's no denying that impact. But again, you do want to balance it because obviously you saw what happened with Juju Watkins, getting hurt. You want to balance making sure that you're also promoting your other stars like an Asia Wilson, like a Brianna Stewart. Nafisa Collier killed it last year. I mean, she was the runner-up, MVP, and the Defensive Player of the Year.
I loved her.
This year, sustain the momentum we had last year and gain even new viewers.
What Caitlyn Clark is doing right now is bigger than basketball. While most athletes struggle just to dominate their sport, Clark is rewriting the rules of what it means to be a superstar in the modern era. She's not just a player, she's a brand, a media phenomenon, and quite frankly, the backbone of the WNBA's future success. From magazine covers to sold-out merchandise and game-changing conversations about player salaries, Clark's influence is spilling over into pop culture, business, and league policy in ways we've rarely seen before, especially for a rookie just entering her second season. Let's start with Slam Magazine.
Caitlin Clark is on the cover, Sam. Super duper star. Super duper star. It is no surprise at all. And again, Slam Magazine was a big thing.
Not just any edition, but the flagship issue. The same cover that once featured legends like Allen Iverson, Kobe Bryant, and LeBron James. And now, Caitlin Clark. The moment Slam dropped her limited edition gold cover, it sold out in under 5 minutes. Not the women's version, not a niche collector's edition. This was the mainline, full respect, big league Slam. That tells you everything. In a media landscape where even some NBA stars are struggling to hold relevance, Caitlin Clark is reviving print journalism, turning basketball magazines into collector's gold, and sparking conversations about WNBA marketing that have been dormant for decades.
There's gonna be good things. Caitlin Clark's gonna bring back print media. People are buying issues, let's be real, people are buying issues of Slam as collector's pieces now.
But the Slam cover is just one piece of a much larger puzzle. Clark's presence is changing how networks and advertisers look at the league. ESPN and ABC didn't just stumble into those 2.7 million viewers. They knew what they were doing when they scheduled her game directly after a marquee matchup between the Aces and Liberty. And it worked. Viewership spiked by nearly 1.5 million the moment Clark took the court. That kind of power is unheard of in women's sports, and it's no coincidence that we're now seeing networks reshuffle their programming to make space for Fever games, while other teams quietly fade into background coverage. The business side of the WNBA is also being reshaped in real time, and Caitlin is right at the center. The league is approaching its next collective bargaining agreement, and for years the conversation around player salaries has centered on lack of revenue. But now, thanks to the Caitlin Clark effect, there's finally leverage.
This is the generational, multi-generational player.
Caitlin Clark is phenomenal. She is somebody like we have never seen before.
You guys are lucky you have Caitlin Clark. You are lucky you have the Indiana Fever.
Team owners, sponsors, and networks are seeing direct returns on investment. Clark isn't just elevating her team, she's lifting the entire league's financial ceiling. The Fever are selling out arenas across the country, not just at home, but on the road. Chicago's United Center, home of the NBA's Bulls, was selected for a Fever versus Sky game instead of a smaller arena. Why? Because they knew Clark would fill the seats. And speaking of filling seats, her influence has even reignited debates around equal pay, travel standards, and investment in women's sports infrastructure. Teams are finally flying charter more consistently. Media outlets that once ignored the WNBA are now giving Clark front-page coverage. And celebrities from across sports and entertainment, from LeBron James to Steph Curry, are publicly voicing their support for her. Even LeBron, who tweeted in admiration of Clark's triple-double.
LeBron's own supporters were coming after him for congratulating Caitlin Clark. This is what he tweeted out after the game: triple-dub CC. Great way to kick off the season.
Faced bizarre backlash simply for complimenting her. That alone speaks volumes about how deeply entrenched and how radically disruptive Clark's rise has become in the current sports culture. But perhaps the biggest testament to her reach is this. Caitlin Clark has made the WNBA cool again. She's bringing in new fans.
She's great for the sport. She's great for the game. There's a lot of adult males who are fans and go into it, but you got a lot of little girls that are coming out watching their hero play, and she's selling out every arena. It's great for the sport.
Yeah, she's the most popular women's athlete on the planet. Her style of play, coming shooting the deep threes, the passes that she has, like she's probably the best college scorer, men's or women's, when it comes to wire to wire as far as a career goes.
Young girls, middle-aged men, families, and basketball purists alike, who previously had no reason to care. And while Angel Reese and others stir up off-court drama, Caitlin is out here collecting triple-doubles, moving merch, and building a legacy before she's even reached her prime. This is no longer just a basketball story, it's a movement, and Caitlin Clark is the face of it.
Caitlin Clark, I've been noticing, I've been following her career since she was a sophomore at Iowa, and I recognized how different she was, how different she played the game. I used to tell all my colleagues who are not into women's basketball, I say, hey, man, you got to check out this girl at Iowa, man. She shoots from the logo. She shoots from almost half court. She's different. And men who travel with us in our traveling party who are basically anti-women's basketball, just didn't care for it, didn't want to talk about it, had no interest in it at all. All of a sudden, they started watching Caitlin Clark and got intrigued by her, and they became fans of her and her game. She needs a Jeep endorsement, commercial, because Jeep is an acronym that I've come up with of the way she has been treated and not welcomed into the WNBA. Jeep, the acronym is JEEP, and that stands for jealousy, envy, egos, and pettiness.
Caitlin Clark isn't just making history. She's changing the game right before our eyes. From setting jaw-dropping viewership records to dominating the court with triple-doubles, and from selling out magazine covers in minutes to carrying the WNBA into a new era of relevance, Clark is doing what no one thought possible this fast. And while others chase clout with controversy, she's letting the numbers, the fans, and the wins speak louder than any trash talk ever could. So here's the truth. This isn't just another breakout season. This is a takeover. Caitlin Clark has arrived, and the world is watching like never before. If you're proud to witness this moment and believe in everything Caitlin is bringing to the game, drop 100% for Caitlin in the comments right now. Let's flood this video with love and support for the player who's giving everything to elevate the sport. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Because with Caitlin Clark, the next record-breaking moment is always just around the corner.